Yeah, we're gonna do reactions. We're gonna do gaming. We're gonna do the whole nine. We probably gonna get into Tinder as well again. We did Tinder a couple nights ago, and I figured I'd just leave it up and running so it could like build up more shit over the last 2 days. Yes, so my work schedule is messy. It's really messy because technically I have zero time off. And the reason for that is because of what I do. And so it's like clients can contact me almost anytime for any reason. They know to try and keep it within certain bounds, but if there's something wrong with their website, or if they don't shut down until late at night, and some clients I have out of state, one international client, and it's a thing where times are off. So if there's something going on with their marketing, or they need something done advertising wise, or they need something updated on their website, they can always contact me, and I typically will go through and deal with it. Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, technically, I'm always working. Always. Sundays, I try not to so much, but if there's something that has to be taken care of, then I'm usually on it. But I mean, a lot of my days start between 7 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And then considering a lot of times with you guys, I'm on streaming till 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I'll sleep for, if I can get, 4 to 5 hours of sleep, then that's what I'm doing. But then I'll wake up, have to make breakfast, do a little workout, clean up, shower, all that good stuff, eat again, and then start my work day. So that's why it's like, there's times when I want to do 12 or 24-hour streams, and I actually want to start those at like 11 o'clock in the morning, noon, or between 11 a.m. and 2 in the afternoon, because then by that point on a 12-hour stream, I can be done at the latest at 2 a.m. And on a 24-hour stream, I can be done at the latest 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. But the problem is, I always end up working through that 5 o'clock hour, sometimes all the way until like 7:30 at night, which is why a lot of times y'all get me streaming super late. And I think if I can stream earlier, catch different people on, get new followers and new subs and shit, it might work out a lot better. Uh, yeah, it is a bit wild. So you make websites, yeah. So it's more than just that. Websites do SEO, so search engine optimization, create like all like different little softwares to work for advertising and marketing needs. And when it comes to like SEO, if you don't understand what that means, what it is actually getting people found on all of the search engines. So like, Google and Yahoo and Bing and then ASAP, and there's over 500 different search engines that a lot of people don't know about, especially if you're in different cities or in different countries. They use different things. Google, of course, being the one that is most well known, but a lot of stuff plays into that. So the way that you get found, I guess, fuck it, we're going to talk about this for a minute. So the way that you end up getting found online based on your digital marketing is social media, of course. But when it comes to your website alone, there's something that's called page authority and another thing called domain authority. So each one of your individual website pages has its own scoring. And that scoring essentially is relative to how easy it is to find you based on a very specific product, keyword, or key phrase. But then you have the whole, which is the domain authority. And the domain authority takes your entire website, the name that's in the actual the search bar, your keywords and key phrases on the site, every single page, and all of their individual authorities, plus a lot of different key factors, whether it's the actual coding that's done in there or the actual how do I put this? I try and break everything down really simple so people can understand it. But sometimes there's no way to do that. In this case, essentially just take those things I just said, and all of that creates one score for your website as a whole. The age of the website, how long you've owned that domain name, how long you've owned, how long you've had it up on any specific server or whatever. All of that stuff plays a factor into it. So think about it this way. And then beyond that, I do photography. I do video creation from nothing, from nothing. A lot of like even the videos for my company, I've only done a few of them, but the voice tracks that are done are me doing the voice tracks. A lot of my clients is voice tracks. I do the voice tracks for it. So I'm creating this stuff along with, a couple other people I have who work for me on very specific things, but I'm editing, making websites from nothing. I mean, just the whole nine. Anything and everything when it comes to digital marketing. I had this idea years and years and years ago that I wanted every client that came to be able to come to my company and get every service they need without having to go through 10, 15 different companies. But I stopped doing it years ago, and then I started it back up over 4 years ago now, and that's what I do. So my days are really fucked up, for lack of a better term. I'm always doing something. And then the creativity behind like putting together content and stuff, what upsets me so much is that I enjoy doing this. I enjoy hanging out with you all, talking to you all about all the different shit we do, whether it's serious or funny or whatever, gaming, doing the reaction videos, creating new content. And I always have these freaking wild ideas. But the problem is that I can't take money away from the things that are necessary for me as far as, of course, living, food, and everything else. And a nigga love to eat. We all know this. That's one of the things I do most on here is eating. In fact, I got food waiting for me, and I already know what I'm going to cook at some point in time during the stream to eat as, a second or third meal. But I can't take, away from that what is absolutely necessary in life, as well as necessary to maintain my business, which pays for, for me to live. I can't take away from that in order to put into the streams and everything, or put into the content I create, and take away what's most important from that, which is time, in order to create those things. But I still find ways to do it, which is why I only sleep 3, 4, 5 hours in a night. Because even yesterday, during the time that I took off, I worked some, I did some stuff to work on the videos that are coming up, and they're going to be fucking hilarious. So it's just, this is why things work like this for me. So so that's my day-to-day shit is kind of obscene. It really is. And, so many people, it was funny because even yesterday, this girl I know, she's like dealing with getting all this stuff done for her baby's baptism. And when it comes to Latin families, there's a whole fucking process that goes with that. It's not like most American families and different shit like that where, you're in church one day, the kid, like, let's get the baby baptized. All right, in a Baptist church or what? No. When it comes to Latin families, there's a whole, that shit is essentially like a wedding. If you know what a quinceañera is, that is crazy as it is. And a baptism is on the same level as that and a wedding. So she's doing all this different stuff, plus she works or whatever. And she's really fucking talented at some of the stuff she does. So what I want to help her do is kind of put herself out there to, for all the different crafts and all that different shit. At least she's not thought-botting it, whatever. But she said something to me. She goes, God, it sucks because I don't have any time to like this, that, and the other. I go, how much do you sleep in a day? It's like sometimes like 10 hours. Bitch, you got time. You got time. You just don't want to like have all the work that goes along with doing those things, but you got time. So it's a thing. I'm making the time. It's a crazy schedule, but it's fine. And I think, here's the thing. I'm going to be dead ass honest about it. When we originally started the YouTube channel, and I say we because my ex and her daughter, like, they wanted to do it at that point, and her daughter like really wanted to. And I already knew that I was going to do it. Before I met her, I was going to start it up. And, work was hectic as it was, but I was like, fuck it, I can do it because I'm on my own. But when I got into that relationship and everything, it was one of those things where it's like, now I'm not just having to worry about myself. Everything I do will affect these two individuals as well. Plus, I was taking on a lot of different responsibilities that most dudes don't take on or won't take on in that scenario. But we started the channel and it was cool and everything else. But the problem was, I then started my business up fully again. I had already been doing what I was doing, but I like fully got back into it. And so then it was like, fuck, now I'm going to end up having to take away time from the whole family element. And that's unfair to them. Plus, with a young woman, raising a young woman, it's a very interesting thing to where that time and attention and need to understand certain things, somehow it's different than raising a boy, if you guys can understand what I mean on that. With boys, it's like, yeah, you have to like you have to be on a boy in a certain way and teach them certain shit that it's different between a boy and a girl. But little girls ask these certain questions that for a man, especially knowing how we are as guys, it's like, fuck, you know what? I'm going to have to teach you like how not to go a certain route, whatever. So beyond that, though, we started that channel up. It was good. It was fun, blah, blah, blah. But then work happened and it was a thing. I was so busy. I felt bad about it. I felt extremely bad about it, but I still made time for them. So there was no way I could sit here and, do the YouTube thing, run the channel, manage the channel, edit the stuff, because the stuff we were doing then, I mean, Roblox, Lumber Tycoon, like all of these different things, people absolutely loved it. In fact, I think those were some of the most watched videos on the channel for quite some time until I started doing other stuff, last year or whatever. But it was just one of those things where we stopped doing it. And my ex would be like, oh, go ahead, start it up by yourself. But it was a family sort of thing, which was really big to me at that point. But at the same time, I knew that there was no way I could have done it and kept her happy, raising a young lady too, without all of us doing it together. So I postponed it, which is why I've only been streaming and doing the shit that I've been doing for about the last year or so. So that, yeah, the schedule is crazy, and it would have been even worse at that point in time. But I think it would have blown up much more, especially during the time of COVID and everything else being around, because more people were watching, and that was their form of entertainment at that point. But anyway, so yeah, so that is kind of my day to day. It's kind of fucking ridiculous, but it is what it is, and I keep pushing, and we're gonna turn this into something, or it'll just remain the same. But I enjoy doing it either way. I make the time for it, so whatever. All right, so let's see. Scary TikToks you should not watch alone. I'm afraid to play this because I'm streaming on YouTube right now, and I know they're gonna hit